Ugh. Man. Welcome. I hate technology. I don't want to work anymore. Today, we're back. It's been 4 months. Sorry. But we're still going on. Today, we're continuing with 2009 in the form of the Glatorian Legends. These guys were the second set of the year, the summer release, and there's 6 of them. And they're pretty cool overall. We will see how they compare against the normal Glatorian, which were the 6 winter medium-sized sets, which I believe we've reviewed on the channel so far. But I really have fond memories of the Glatorian Legends. I remember being a kid the year they came out and like calling the Walmart and the Toys R Us nearest me like over and over and being like, do you have any Glatorian Legends yet? And the day that they finally said yes, boy, did we ever speed over there and get one, like a normal lower middle class child does. Stronius, who we are reviewing today, was not the first one, but he is one of my favorite Glatorian Legends, so not to spoil anything here, but I think it's going to be a nice review. The Legends really remind me of a peak summertime in my life, which right now I really need to remember because boy, do I just have the late winter blues, guys. I got new glasses. We got a new haircut. But it's still me. Let's jump into the figure. Alright, so here is our first look at Stronius. He's a beefy, tanky little guy here. And to be honest, it's only going to get more exciting as we go, so strap in. The feet look like this. Man, I've lost my mojo. This is one of my favorite foot pieces in general.
So, subjectively, we're already off to a good start, but it's obviously nothing special. It's just a normal black foot mold that I think started in like the Toa and Nika or so, but it's a nice one. I always thought that these were very sturdy. They have some cool texture on them. I like them overall. And they go into
one of the shorter, stubbier kind of limb pieces that are used as shins here. And then the thighs are a bit more interesting because they're these spiky, very medieval pieces that I think were used on like the Exo Knight sets, or those kind of figures that were like Bionicle-like, but they were humanoid. So that's pretty cool to see them on an actual Bionicle here. I don't find them very like Technic-like. I guess they do have the pins as the points where they get attached, but for some reason I never associated these pieces with Bionicles much, which I think is fair because it's a very unique piece for a Bionicle. I think it might actually like only be on Stronius, but anyways, they provide some really good subtle detail here on like adding to his spiky nature, even though they only appear on the legs here. They blend in really well, but also really add to his silhouette, in my opinion. Going into the chest, this might be unique to Stronius. It's a very cool chest piece that's like 3 spikes on the front there, and then goes all the way down, so he kind of has a guard. And overall, it's just like a kind of cool rocky texture, as you can see, like in there. And it's also a really nice matte material, so it feels very like a little gritty or like a little unpolished almost. It's not very glossy, which again fits his vibe. And then this piece is used as his 2 shoulder armors. So if you kind of look at him from far away, you could kind of tell that there's like 3 big pieces of the same mold going on, but not really, because you're seeing the side angle on the shoulders and a front-on version for the chest. But if you were to turn him like that, you can again see that it's that same big piece, which is attached by a red pin for the shoulders, and black pins for the chest, which is kind of irksome, but there are red pins here anyways as well. And in general, his whole color scheme, as you can see, is black and red, so not really the biggest issue whatsoever, to be honest, but just a note. Then going down the rest of his arms, he doesn't really have any specific limb armor to attach there. It's the shorter ball and socket piece that only has one hole in the middle. And to be honest, that's okay because he has these giant chunky shoulder pads already. And then he has the same limb armor as the arms, as the legs for the arms. And then you get the classic Glatorian fist piece that we have been seeing in most of the sets so far, and that holds his weapons. So in one hand he has the Thorn Axe launcher, nothing special. It's just an offhand, not really like an attachment with his melee weapon or anything like we may have seen on a couple of guys so far, which is fine, nice and simple. And then the other hand is a super, super cool weapon in my opinion. It's a club. And again, we haven't really seen something like this in Bionicle much. It's kind of like this, rudimentary caveman-like tech compared to all the really high-tech stuff that we're accustomed to. And again, this really reminds me of the thigh pieces, like these spiky medieval vibes. And if we examine the club a little closer, it is kind of a cool build because it's actually not a single piece. So I won't take it apart, but you can see the mold line there. So it's actually 2 identical half pieces that you just press together and affix with the pin there, and then it sticks out as well at that angle, so it can attach to the fist. But it's actually not one giant club piece, it's like 2 halves. So you could probably do some cool builds with this where, these could like be front or like chest and back armor, or like 2 massive shoulder pieces as well, which would look kind of cool. But they put them together for the club here, which, to be fair, as far as my knowledge goes, is literally for this set and unique to this set. So someone could school me on that, but I kind of think that Stronius has a lot of cool, unique pieces that really add to his overall vibe and personality, which I think are literally made for him, which is super, super cool. And at the very least, if they're not made for him, one of one, I think they're pretty uniquely used here. And then going to the helmet as well, it's unique as well, I think. So it's kind of attached by a longer neck piece, not just right at the neck like we're used to, but it has this in-between connector right there, and then the orange Glatorian head, and the mask, which I'll take off for a moment, is again very, very reminiscent to the club and chest and shoulder pieces. It's the same kind of texture, which you might have a better time seeing what I was talking about before with that grainy, rough plastic. This part here is a great example of the smooth normal plastic, but much of the texture of these pieces is this kind of rougher one, which is really, really cool. And there's like a lot of great rocky asymmetrical texture going along here on the left and right sides. Pretty menacing eye holes and like these cool teeth kind of marks. I'm not sure if those are meant to be his actual teeth. I'm assuming it's kind of just the design of the mask, but it's a pretty fucking sick mask piece, to be honest. And with the glowing orange eyes here, it makes for a very, very cool look. I think you're meant to kind of push the neck piece down and forward, because right now it's kind of, way too high up because his chest guard starts so low. But I'm assuming that you're kind of meant to push it forward like that and give him that hunched short look anyways. That looks much better to have his head be at shoulder level, and it kind of fills him all in, gets the armor looking right. So this is at least my headcanon for Stronius. Going back to the color for a sec as well, which we mentioned, it's a black and red theme, but it really, really looks good. Like the maroon with the black is high enough contrast that it's not just a monotone set. But unlike the original scroll that we reviewed from the Glatorian line that has a bright red accent, I think I actually prefer this dark red because it's just so subtle, like so kind of dark and menacing. I'll bring out the other scroll for comparison here, because technically speaking, to nerd out, these are like from the same tribe or whatever. Like Stronius is a Skrull, but this one is just a Skrull warrior, and I think Stronius is like a commander or whatever. So that's why he has his own name, but he is a Skrull as well. So this was our default Skrull warrior with the black and bright red, and here's our commander Stronius. And like, I don't know, seeing the bright red again, it is pretty nice, but something's just so classy about the black and maroon. But either way, they obviously go very well together. They impose a pretty menacing vibe for the main threat of 2009, which, I don't know, it's pretty sick overall. I like these villains a lot, Stronius in particular, so I'm pretty happy with that. I also kind of forgot to review the back of the model. There's nothing too special to report on here. One interesting choice is that his main chest piece is a dark gray, which is a little strange compared to it being black. Maybe they just wanted to use up some gray pieces, or they thought it would be a bit of a nice contrasting choice to have there be a tiny bit of gray mixed in there. You hardly see it from the front anyways, so it doesn't really matter. And at the very least, the life counter holder is a nice matte black as well. Sometimes those really don't fit in, like if it was a bright silver or something, but overall it's pretty cool. And it's even connected by red pins, which is a fun touch compared to the normal blue, which still used there once, but all good. Anyways, I believe that completes our look at Stronius. Overall, I think that Stronius is a pretty good set. I really like his build. I think he has a lot of cool, unique piece usage. I really like his color scheme. And I think that he just, you know, really looks like a cool, menacing figure. And I think they did a real good job giving him that silhouette and that definition. And he's just a normal, like, medium-sized set. So overall, I would give him... Guys, I just want to say, if you're ever lonely, if you know you're ever on your phone too much, feeling depressed, or if you're just feeling like bad mentally and sometimes even physically, whether it's from the season or the weather or a messy home or your work life or whatever, man, I've been there. I'm still there in some parts, and I'm sorry. It sucks. It can be real tough. But life is grand. Life is so good, too. I was driving on my way to work, listening to Two Hollis in the car. Window was open a crack, cold air going on my bald head. I think Destroy Me was playing. Bro, the end of that song almost had me tearing up. Just tell me you want me. Just tell me you want me. Good. Life is good. Life is good. Life is beautiful. We got this. I'm so sorry that it's been 4 months. I don't really know what happened. This admittedly was not my priority in life. But you know what? Neither was fucking playing Night Rain and Malden losing 10 times over and over and being like, why do I play this game in 45-minute increments every run and you just lose at the end? It sucks. Anyways, I got Link's crossbow training at like a game shop a few weeks ago, and I've wanted this ever since I was 10 and I played Twilight Princess, and I finally got it, so we'll be booting that up soon. I'm having tuna for dinner tonight. I love tuna fish. My fiance's out at the movies, so I have to fend for myself. So I'm gonna make a can of tuna fish and probably just dip nacho chips in it because we're out of bread. Life is beautiful. I might watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind later. I love that movie. It makes me cry. So, so gorgeous. It's a great movie for wanting to feel something. I hope that my next video won't be as far away from now as this one was from the last. If it is, I'm sorry in advance, and we'll see you in like September. But I really am not planning on that. I would love to do the Glatorian Legends. I would love to do some more battle vehicles and get through, oh shit, and get through 2009. That would be a huge milestone, and it would be really fun to just keep this channel going. To like the 4 people that might see this video, yay! Good news. Good news Tuesday. Oh my god. I'm a little rusty. I'm a little nervous being on camera. Yes.
Bozo, 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 you're an idiot. Could you just indulge me for a little bit?